Alright, welcome back to part 55. So, that chicken pot pie was good, and I've enjoyed it, even though it's like, uh, I was gonna show you that, but I already ate it all, so I'm really full now, so yeah, tomorrow, to remind you that I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, which is a different dentist, which usually is for, root canals and pulling tooth out, like pulling out wisdom teeth. That's all that matters. Unless you have an appointment for like wisdom teeth, I have like four wisdom teeth that coming out, and I'm meant to get one pulled in the future. Not sure when, but why African Americans left the South in droves. Great Migration Hyperdog video notes. Just watch the video if you found it. A for adjectives. Write two adjectives that come in mind while you're watching. Example: mysterious, which is two answers. Emotion. How did the article make you feel? Two emotions. Interesting. Write down two facts that you found interesting. Oh wow. Write down two things that made you go wow. What two questions do you have after watching this video? Three things you learned today. Two things you already knew before the video. One thing you still have a question about. Your name. Hip Hudges, The Great Migration. Background knowledge. Before viewing the video, write anything you already know about Dreams 2 Plus. And main points of video. Record key points and details you learned from the video, which is four of them. Old vocab. Write down any vocab terms previous chapter that you recognize. Questions you have. Write any questions you still have about this topic. New vocab. Write down any new vocab terms that you heard in the video that you didn't know. Alright, I think we're good. So, here we go. Maybe next time I might show you the real chicken, the chicken pot pie. I might show you what it actually is, or I can tell you what it is if you want. I'm gonna remove some of this if you don't mind. Intellectual milestones. Okay, so first year intellectual milestones. Directions. Use the textbook 262 or the internet and pick one intellectual milestone for each month of the first year and describe it in your own words using the space provided. First month, first month, second month, third month, fourth month, fifth month, or sixth month. What do you think it says? I don't know what it says, but let me know in the comments. Seventh month, eighth month, ninth month, 10th month, 11th month, 12th month. Directions. In a paragraph response, no less than good 5 sentences, answer why intellectual development is important. Why is the first year of intellectual development specifically important? You get some good examples of how intellectual development can be used to encourage babies. That can help in the future. I feel like I should go to the rules, because guys have been dying to wait all the real assignments that I was going to tell. Alright, senior project requirements for 2021 to this is the middle of the 2021 that people do not know. This is only for people who are pretending to be who are going to be seniors in 2021 to 2022. Is that senior project requirements for 2020 to 2021 modifications due to COVID-19 updates updated September 2020. The health and safety to our students, families, and schools and community is a priority. Seniors, please be creative, imaginative, and considerate when selecting a senior project. Use your habits of mind to work with our community and complete a project that will give back to and help others while practicing social distancing. Get hygiene habits about during this pandemic. Thank you for being responsible, respectful, and building positive relationships. The following modifications are put in place for completion for senior projects for the 2020 to 2021 school year. Job shadowing, if already completed, please include both in your electronic portfolio. If not completed, you may research a career and type 500-word essay for each job shadow. If you have one job shadowing experience completed, you only need to research one career and type 500-word essay. Service learning. If already completed, please include in your electronic profile in your portfolio. If not completed, services learning is waived for the school year. Here's a link to the updated portfolio checklist. Portfolio checklist. Sorry. This is required for your advisor teacher. My advisor teacher is Mr. Teague. Gonna give you time to look at that. You may submit if you already completed, which can be excused for service learning. It can be 2 to 5 hours total or 500-word essay for each career, which is 10 hours one and portfolio, which is project self-evaluation paper. So yeah, first semester students are continuing in person presentations as originally planned. That's all we do. All right. If we move to be e-learning for all students, please know first semester presenters are continuing with the in-person presentations as originally planned. Pardon me. Final assessment, students will record their final presentation video, include video with the electronic portfolio, requirements for presentation video. Minutes need to be a minimum of 8 minutes in length. Include presentations, details that are located on the senior project website. Senior project, you can actually click that if you're around my school. May record a video on its learning or use your YouTube channel and upload it to its learning. If you have any questions, please contact Aaron Miller, Senior Project Coordinator, at or call extension 1303. Thank you. Everyone has the power to inspire and serve this world. Lolly Daska. Is that how you say it, right? Alright. This is why I hate about senior is because I have to do a lot of work, and it's really stressful, and you have to do the he had to do like a whole lot of essays, and you have to do a lot of stuff, which is can be painful and stressful at the same time, and you're gonna get so tired of it you don't even know, and you're probably gonna be falling asleep about what's the due date. You're lucky that teachers can still accept the late work. You can read some of this if you want to. If you're Spanish, if you're Hispanic, you can read all this. Exploration questions, molecules in earth chemistry. Exploration questions, molecules in earth chemistry. Exploration questions, molecules in earth chemistry. On a separate sheet of paper, answering all of the following questions, write short answers, create lists or tables, or draw diagrams to complete the questions is the best way possible for yourself. What are the five most abundant elements in Earth's crust by volume and by weight? Please include percentage in your answer. Why is there a difference? Explain. What is a cation? What is an anion? What is a molecule? What is a compound? What is an ionic bond? What is a covalent bond? What is a metallic bond? What is a hydrogen bond? How does the chemical composition of the Earth change with depth? What part of the geosphere is the least dense? Why? What is the most common forming mineral molecule? What is the name of the ion? What is its chemical formula? Let me know if you have any questions on that. Or you can actually write some answers if you feel like it. Alright, so I'm going to read some stories in the future. Video questions, continental drift. You can look at the youtube.com. You can look for that. What do continents look like they clearly fit together? What field of science did Alred Wegener study? What did Wegener think of the continents were doing? What did he call the Asian supercontinent? What does Pangea mean? What was Wegener's first piece of evidence? Where are the two places in the world where the Mesosaurus fossils are found? What happened to the fossils if you resemble the continents? What was the second place or piece of evidence? What was the second information of the evidence? What mountain ranges line up perfectly? What do we mean by line up perfectly? What was the third piece of evidence? What are glaciers? What are glacial striations? What rock did Wegener found? What is the fourth piece of evidence? What was the name of Wegener's book? What was Wegener never be able to be explained? Okay, so Noah, I'll be reading yours on page on the part 57. Mr. Ekrov's classroom and rules, procedures. Okay, so um okay, so some people this is where my friend Metallica Miller she goes to Mr. She actually goes to Mr. Ekrov's U.S. history class. So um yeah, okay, so anyways, cell phones should not be visible or nor used during class instruction. I'll provide one warning during class before I take further action. Please be in your seat. Please be in your seat before when the bell rings, or you will be considered tardy. Bring all required materials to class every day: laptop, pencil, pen, and the notebook, paper. Be respectful. Use appropriate language when addressing the teacher or a fellow classmate. I will not tolerate the use of foul language at any time. Stay awake during class. Clean up your desk before you leave and throw any trash away. No food or snacks will be allowed in the class unless I have given permission. Water is fine as long as it has a lid on a bottle. No one sharing materials with your classmates. Papers, pencils, pens, laptop chargers, or snacks. Never be afraid to ask questions. Yeah, Mr. Echo is really strict. I recently found it, so. World War I textbook. chapter 5.2 and 5.6. Part 1. World War One Textbook, Chapter 5, Section 2, and pages 5 or 6. In the United States response, directions while reading Chapter 5 and Section 2 of the textbook, fill in the notes below. Review from Friday. Who were the major Central Powers? Who were the major Allied powers? The assassination of blank started World War One. East and West Front. The Eastern Front stretched from the blank south to the blank where German forces fought the blank. The Western Front formed a blank around the northern corner of blank. What was the main objectives of Central Powers regarding France? If Central Powers invaded blank, the France would fall. Neutrality. Define neutrality. Who was trying to stay neutral during World War One? Name the POTUS during World War One. Which side did US tend to lead towards Europe? That was it? I didn't realize that. I know it's kind of short, but I'll take that. Alright. I was going to click on that, but I already done it. Video. Sea floor spreading by Bill Nye. This is a short question. These are only 10 questions. This will take pretty easy. What did Harry Hess use his deaf sounder to measure when they were out to sea? What did most scientists imagine the bottom of the ocean floor looked like? What did Harry Hess discover on his sea floor? What did scientists discover at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean floor? How much higher are the volcanoes compared to the ocean floor? What did Harry Hess discover about the age of the Atlantic Ocean floor? What is being forced up the ridge? What happens to the cold, molten rock as the more molten rock is punished up for behind it? What did Hess call its discovery? What is the name of the process that recycles the crust of a spreading ocean floor? You can click on that video to find more information. This reminds me of Wild Kratts. I'm gonna type, this was from previous class. This is a period 2B poem of the week discussion sheet. This is just for my friend only. This is for Diana. Diana's period. Diana looks like Diana was born on 8 of 8 to 2004, and she looks like Mitaka a little bit, even though she's black. Diana Garcia, she's black, so she looks brown. Yeah, she's brown. My fault. Yeah, she's brown, so that's where my friend goes for Mrs. Kolb AP Literature Core. AP Literature and Composition. Poem of the Week. Student-led decisions or discussions. What? Students in this class will be responsible for leading discussion of the other poems of the week. How? Pod groups will be assigned a set of poems and will create discussion questions for this class to gain better understanding of the poems and politic devices. Why? Students will have the opportunity to direct how we address the events, characters, and themes within the poems, leading to a deeper analysis of the text. When students have a chance to prepare questions, they are able to dive more deeply into the text way or in a way that suits them. Details and instructions. You have been placed at the pod for this unit. With your pod mates, you will be creating discussion questions for our class of your assigned poems. Each group will have 50 minutes of this class time to conduct their discussions. Students are expected to contribute to both the creation of questions and answering questions. Students will be receiving a grade for their group contribution both in the live discussion and group documents creation or section that they can use for creativity. Students will also receive a smaller participation grade that will be assessed over the course of the discussion days that will depend upon your participation in the daily discussions and depth for your answers. Each group will need to submit a planning document that shows the process how you arrived at a strategy for analyzing your poems, your own analysis or analysis of the poems, your plan for in class, a discussion, and your possible answers for the discussion questions you are posing. I'm starting to feel better. Within this document, I should be able to see who has contributed and who will be taking the part, or which part of the discussion. The discussion should be divided equitably. If you want to provide materials for your classmates, you will need to get those to me that day before your class so I can make your appropriate number of copies or upload it to it via learning time. There will also be a place on its learning for you to submit materials. If you want your classmates to use a digital tool, that is also great. Just be sure you know how it works. Suggestions from Mrs. Culp. It is good to remember some of the strategies we discussed in Think About Question construction. I will need a copy of your group's questions before your discussion begins. I would recommend you to have at least 6 questions for your assigned poems. You may want to focus only on one poem, with the others as supplemental poems. Your questions can address social issues, themes, and interpretation, and productive devices. If you have a specific strategy in your group would like to use your for your discussion, feel free to do so. Keep in mind that some of these strategies may not work in terms of social distancing, but you may be able to make some adjustments to make them work. I strongly recommend your group explore and try one of the strategies, and you know how it is if someone is up front asking questions, hoping that a student will be brave to enough your answer. Questions you have now. Resources. You can click one of those here. That's where I would click. Your group has chosen. Your role in this group was. How will you know when you achieved your goal? What questions do you have for Mrs. Culp or your about your group? Okay, so poem of the week poems week. Um, Radode, Texas Radode, Hair Iron Elizabeth Acevedo. Week 2, If They Should Come From Us, From the Oil, Fatima Ashgar. Week 3, Group 4, Despite my efforts, even my prayers have turned into threats. River and Milk, Gloves, Cavi Akbar. Week 4, Group 2, Hustle, Dear Dr. Frankenstein, Bullet Points, Jericho Brown. Week 5, I once was a child, Mr. Darcy, OBIT, Victoria Chang. Week 6, Group 5, versus World, The Skunk, People Skills, Ross White. Week 7, Group 6, American Sonnet from My Past and Future Assassin. I'll lock you in American Sonnet that is part of prison. American Sonnet from Wonder Sea, Wind in a Box, Terrence Hayes. Week 8, Group 7, Deaf Republic 1, Deaf Republic 14, Deaf Republic 16, Ilya Kaminsky. Alright, I'm going to do one more assignment, then it's going to be, I'm going to say that part for part 56. I'll be doing Noah's story on part 57. All right. This is the presidential court candidates on the issues. C-SPAN Classroom 2020 presidential candidates on the issues. Warm up. Brainstorm answers to the following questions before beginning the lesson. Brainstorm. What do you know about the following presidential candidates? President Donald Trump, former Vice President Joe Biden. Introduction. Write a one to two sentence statement that describes your opinions about what should be done to address the following issues: addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. Your opinion about what should be done: improving the economy, wages and employment, healthcare, racial justice and police reform, immigration and border security, energy and the environment, protest and civil unrest. You guys have been dying to wait the answer keys. I know. Exploration for each issue. View the video clips and camping sites for both candidates. Summarize their position on the middle or the issue. Describe how you feel about their position. Pick any of the four issues to complete. Issue: addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. Video clip for Donald Trump campaign site. There's two of them are Joe Biden. Summarize the candidate's position. What is your opinion on this candidate's position? Issue: improving the economy. There's a video clips, or you can click on the campaign site. Summarize the candidate's position, and do the other one too. There's Joe Biden. Wages and employment. Comment down below if you know all of them. Healthcare. Whenever I did this assignment, I felt like I should do more extra credit for that kind of thing. Racial justice and the policing. I did some of them better, way better than before. Immigration and border security. Energy policy. I usually click whatever I want. Issue protests and civil unrest. Alright, last one. Climate change and the environment. Alright, so if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be able to help you to get through them. If you guys have any responses, you can add them for free. I don't mind if it's like a joke comment. You can do whatever you want. Alright, so see you guys on the part 56.